What is up, guys? Alex here, otherwise known as Clash with Still, and welcome back to another episode of Their Clash Story. This is episode number 5. We are absolutely rolling through these. I really hope you guys are enjoying them. They seem to be going down a treat, and I am absolutely loving recording them. I've had a lot going on in my life, and these are sort of been an escape for me. Listening to these, recording these, and doing them with the amazing guys and gals from EYG. In today's episode, we will be speaking to 3 guys and gals. Don't want to discriminate. From Mudgerian Army. We go over the pronunciation and stuff in the video. I'm probably butchering it, so apologies for that. I'm not going to hold you back too much longer, but if you could go down and leave a like. There is so much effort behind the scenes that goes into this video. Also, we have a brand new intro, which you guys are going to see right after this short introduction I'm doing right here, which is turning into quite a long introduction. So let's go and see it. Okay, and we are in here with the Mudgerian, probably butchering that, Mudgerian Army. This is episode number 5 of Their Clash Story. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Mike. I'm a co-leader. I've been in Army for about 6 years.
I'm MB. I'm a co-leader. I don't even know how long I've been in Army, but 3 years, something
Cool.
like that.
And me, I'm Lolly. I'm a co-leader. I don't know how long I've been there either. Quite a long enough.
I think you guys arrived about the same time, didn't you? It seems like 3
Yeah,
years sounds about right.
I think that's about right.
I think I talked my way into being a co-leader.
I'm sure there's a story behind that. We're going to kick this off with some quickfire questions. Mike, if we can start with you.
Sure.
Have you ever forgotten to do a war attack? And was there a backlash for that?
Yeah. So I think only one. And it was just I've had a handful of close calls where maybe I was driving back from somewhere and was going to do the attack. And I've made a war attack where I logged in and there was 15 seconds left and I started my attack.
Yeah.
But I missed one. It was just stupid. It was a Saturday afternoon and I had a couple hours to do it, and I started cooking my army and started watching TV and just totally blew it. And like looked up 3 hours later, was like, oh crap, I forgot my war attack. And I logged in. We easily won that war, so nobody was too upset. But
that's okay.
Yeah, you always feel worse about it than.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Then everybody else kind of like, don't worry about it. But I did feel really bad about it. So I think I've only had one.
Fair. Okay, MB. Here's a question for you.
I don't. Okay, go ahead.
Which troop in the game right now do you think should be changed, and what would you like to see changed about it? It doesn't have to be anything major. It could be something tiny, but yeah.
Okay. Here's a dumb one. Why do they make your war base on Arranged Wars different than your regular war base? It's just stupid.
Yeah.
They ask you're doing Arranged Wars. They have to make sure everybody understands that and gets their war bases set. Okay.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I'm doing an event. That's why it's on my mind. So.
That's fair. No, that's fair. I do have to agree with that. It's a very odd thing. So Lolly, question for you. What is your go-to farming army?
I love a good kitchen sink attack. I take just about everything. Healers, wall breakers, goblins, archers. I like a nice E-dragon there, a couple of loons, baby dragon, giants, bowlers, and 2 peckers.
What do you call this strategy? The kitchen sink?
I don't know. I managed to get 3 stars most times, so. But I think if anyone sort of drops in and asks what I do,
I've never seen you run that in a war. Though, Lolly. I see you do that in your farm.
I wouldn't use it in war. No, that's my farm army.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Even your war armies have a ton of troops. I don't know how you scroll with that many troops in your army. Even your war ones are crazy.
I do like a lot of troops. There's a pattern. You get used to dropping
a certain thing at a certain time.
In certain ways. So the more the better, I say.
Fair enough.
I honestly wouldn't use wall breakers in war though, because they never seem to work in war like they do when you're farming.
Yeah, it's such a risk in war. Like, one fail and you're like, nah, that's it. This is a failed attack. Like, nah, I can't do it. Yeah, I've had that so many times.
Mike is good at wall breakers, though.
I wish I was good at wall breakers.
It just takes some practice, but they are. It is a challenge to use them and use them well. So I take it as a personal challenge to get good at it.
Yeah. So Mike, we'll come back to you with another question.
Mm-hmm.
Ground or air?
I was actually thinking about this because you asked somebody, I think the last one I watched, what their go-to war attack is. I always think that my favorite, I'm not all that good at it, but a well-run Lalo 3-star, there's nothing quite as rewarding as watching a good Lalo 3-star. So, right now, the current state of the game, it's really difficult to run Lalo at Town Hall 13, but that's always the attack that I think about when I first look at a base, is because there's a way for me to run Lalo on this, because that is my favorite attack when you get it right. It's just beautiful.
Mike always likes to make his attacks really complicated.
Yeah.
Mike.
Unnecessarily so, usually.
And you don't, Lolly, with all those troops?
Well, Mike always likes to run his attack past me as much as I like to run mine past him.
And they never agree.
No.
Exactly. If we agree on it, you know it's not going to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
It's true.
They don't, and they both end up pulling 3-stars. So.
Fair. So MB, we'll come back to you with another question. Do you plan out your war attacks, or do you just YOLO them?
Oh no, I try to plan them out, although you wouldn't know it all the time by looking at them, but I do try to plan them out. So
fair enough.
YOLO never works for me. So
yeah. And what sort of goes into that? Do you just spend a little bit of time looking at the base, or do you go and voice chat with people, or do you like mark it up with like, I don't know, some tool or what?
Well, sometimes we'll voice chat with some people, but I'd like to get more people doing that. Or sometimes we'll just talk in clan.
Yeah.
Talk it through. So, or sometimes I just kind of see the plan myself. So.
Yeah.
But.
So, Lolly, this is the last question. It
definitely help to have another set of eyes, though.
Oh yeah, it always helps to have another set of eyes for sure. Like when doing war attacks, I find if you've got someone spotting you and stuff, like so many times, if it's like a hero's ability or a spell placement, like just trying to get that a bit better, like it's good to have like you said, another set of eyes for sure.
Yeah, somebody says, "Oh yeah, but what about that scatter shot? It's going to hit your heroes or something. You didn't see it or something."
Yeah, for sure, and you can just quickly react and change it up on the spot or whatever, just with someone else's eyes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Lolly, we'll move on to you for the last question, just at the quick fire questions, and it's, what is your favourite town hall?
I quite like 13 actually, because I'm getting okay. I'm okay at it.
Well, I mean, from the attacks that I'm showing in the background, it's clear to see you're more than okay at 3-star at Town Hall 13.
Great CWL. I tell you.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Lolly has very high standards for herself. Yeah. If she doesn't 6-pack or then she's like, "Oh, I may have to just quit this game." And it's just,
I'm not very good at. I shouldn't say failing, but I am very self-critical. If I don't 3-star, I feel utterly disappointed.
Yeah.
And, no, I'm not very good, and I tend to come back on chat and go, "Oh well, this went wrong. I'm
quitting. That's it. One fails attack.
Yeah.
I'm
no,
gone."
I leave that to Mike. Mike is our. Mike does that regularly, or he used to. He quite likes Town Hall 13, so I think he's stuck around quite a while now, haven't you, Mike?
In my current stint, I've been.
Yeah, he hasn't PRQ'd in a while.
Over a year, yeah.
Exactly.
I think Town Hall 13 is so good because it's so balanced. Like, I feel like there is a few strategies that are maybe taking over the meta, but I feel that the actual Town Hall itself, like, I think it's quite good, and I think compared to Town Hall 12 anyway, I mean, you might have a different opinion, but I think it's pretty well balanced. I think we're seeing less air attacks, which is a bit disappointing, because like you said earlier, Mike, I really like those Lalo. I think they're so pleasing to watch because they're so strategical. There's so much that goes into them, and I sort of miss seeing them. But I think we are seeing plenty of other strategies come about. And I mean, I think the Yeti's sort of taken over Town Hall 13 a little bit too much, and I definitely can see that getting a nerf at some point. But
I hope not.
yeah,
I'd like to see him buff air a little bit. It's too biased towards ground. That just means everybody can defend against that, a couple of attacks, and I like having variety in the game. I get bored if there's only one or two attacks that are really viable. So.
Yeah, fair.
Did you see that Lalo in ESL the other day?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, I've seen a few, but
Yeah,
I'm not the level of skill those guys are. I can't.
No, me either.
Yeah.
Pretty to watch.
And it has to be so base specific, like you're saying in that ESL, like most people at Town Hall 12 before, you would see they would be able to hit a base, no matter what base, with Lalo, and they would have a very good chance of 3-starring it if they were skilled enough to pull it off. But at Town Hall 13, the bases just, like, especially with the scatter shots now, they just they eat the Lalo alive. Like, it really
12 is hardest. I think 12 is very out of balance though.
Yeah.
I think on so many levels, I think it's hard to, it's hard to 3-star it. I mean, you can, but it's harder. And I mean, it's just a 13 just crushes a 12. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with that Royal Champion.
It just crushes a 12.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe they should give
12
Royal Champion at a lower level or something. So.
Yeah, that's one thing I was speaking to someone about the other day. Introducing the Royal Champion at Town Hall 12, but maybe only letting it go to like level 5 or level 10. Like, I don't think at those lower levels it would have that much of an impact, but it would be enough to maybe balance it out a wee bit more. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, and I think it would also give 12s a much better chance at having a go at hitting Town Hall 13s, because right now, I mean, you could probably pick up 2 stars reasonably easy, but the 3-star is just never going to happen, like never. So I think maybe introducing that at a lower level would be a good idea for sure.
Well, we had a couple of them in DN, but they were pretty. But they were weird rush 13s. But
yeah. When was your clan founded, and who was the original founder?
This is a little bit of a winding road. So the original clan was actually Curmudgeons, and Curmudgeons is still around, and there's some of the original members that are there. It's a little bit lower activity, sort of semi-retired players there now.
Yeah.
But Curmudgeons was founded in 2013, pretty early on. They built up the clan, so they actually split from another clan, got in, started building up Curmudgeons, and one of the leaders, his in-game name was Red. He decided he wanted to build out a family of clans, and I think most of the folks in Curmudgeons at the time were not really in favor of that, but he talked them into it, and so they had a handful of folks who had minis, and they all volunteered to take their minis over, start a new clan, and start recruiting into it, and that's when they started Mudgerian Army. So Mudgerian, I bet a lot of people wonder what the heck does that mean. It sounds made up. Well, it's because it is made up. So they had Curmudgeons was the first clan, and they wanted to create Curmudgeon Army. Well, there's a limitation. I think it's 14 characters on a clan name. At least it was.
Like that, yeah.
And Curmudgeon Army, you can't fit in 14 characters. And so I think there maybe is Curmudgeon, and there was 3 extra characters remaining. They couldn't come up with a good name. They had Curmudgeon as a start, and then something meaningful after. So some guy came up with, well, Mudgerian will be an adjective for Curmudgeon. He just made up the word. Fair. And it left enough space. It left enough spaces that they could add on army, and then later on mob and farm and lawn. Mm-hmm. So that's what Mudgerian comes from. So anyways, they started a Mudgerian Army, and so most of us in an army at the time, we were all Town Hall 7s. I think most of us when we joined were Town Hall 7, maybe a few Town Hall 8s. Mm-hmm. And the idea was that we'd be a feeder clan to Curmudgeons. Yeah. So early, before Clan Wars came out, there really wasn't a good way to compete in the game. I mean, you farmed your base, but there wasn't anything like Clan Wars that you could really come together as a team and do anything. The only thing you could really do is trophy pushes. So I don't know
Yeah.
You know, if you didn't play the game before Clan Wars, you probably didn't even know what trophy pushes are,
Oh
because
no, I
nobody
did.
does them anymore.
Don't
But
worry, I did.
yeah, so that was the thing, is we would farm. So most of us joined Army in January. I joined in January of 2014. I think most of the core group joined about that time or soon thereafter.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just trying to upgrade our villages far enough where we could go and participate in a trophy push over in Curmudgeons.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was our whole focus for a long time. And then Clan Wars came out, and it completely changed everything.
Yeah.
And so we had again a really good group of folks in Army, and we were a town hall or 2 levels behind most of the folks in Curmudgeons.
Yeah.
And so we really, even though we would bounce around the clans, for the most part everybody stayed in Army and just did wars, and we just developed such a good companionship in Army that nobody really wanted to move up to Curmudgeons anymore. We became more successful and more competitive in wars than Curmudgeons.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately what happened was, eventually Curmudgeons, they had some recruitment problems. They lost some longtime members just from burnout.
Yeah.
And they were struggling with membership. They were struggling with wars, and they were getting frustrated. And unfortunately, what happened was they were trying to come up with a solution. How can Army help us out? And would you guys consider moving from Army over to Curmudgeons? And nobody wanted to do that. Nobody in Army wanted to just quit our clan and move over to Curmudgeons. So
Yeah.
we couldn't find a good solution, and they had a couple of folks who wanted to rebuild Curmudgeons, and they said, well, it actually would be a lot easier if we just did it on our own versus as part of the family. It's just going to be too hard because you guys are actually competing for the same recruits we are, and it was just so. Unfortunately, the Curmudgeons group decided to abandon the family that they originally founded and go do their own thing. So at that time, then Army became sort of the highest level clan in the family, and then so that's the sort of the medium version of the history of the Mudgerian Army.
Yeah. And talking a bit about family, when did you guys get involved with EYG? Was it after that whole sort of split up from the original, or?
So actually, I think I joined 4 years ago, because and I was originally in Mob for a few months, Mudgerian Mob, which was part of the family, and then after a few months moved over to Army. Just fit me better.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started getting everybody on Discord, and we started our own Discord channel. And then about 3 years ago, Lolly and I discovered EYG, and we joined the server and kind of watched them for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got talking in the family, and we had the 4 clans, which was Army and Mob and Lawn and Farm, and started talking among the clans and see if they wanted to join EYG also.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Farm and Lawn decided not to join EYG. So, but Mob and Army joined EYG about almost 2 years ago now, I think.
Yeah.
But it's been good for us. We like it, so.
It's good for all clans. EYG is the best place to be.
Yeah, it's really good. So.
And I'll throw in one more note. I forgot to mention this. So, the original, I think I mentioned the original leader of Curmudgeons was Red, and part of the reason that the clan family didn't ultimately survive as a family is Red got burned out after about a year and quit.
Mm-hmm.
And so pretty much every clan started operating independently on their own. Even though we knew everybody in the other clans and we would bounce around some, for the most part, every clan set their own direction, their own recruiting, and so it really did. Even though it felt like a family clans, every clan really operated independently. Without Red, there to sort of
oversee
come up with a common. It just became, and all of the clans functioned well. They're all great places to be, but that's part of the reason why it just ended up being 4 separate clans.
Yeah, but they were they each kind of have their own style. Some warred more than others. Army and Mob were kind of the 2 more active war clans, and Mob has kind of become a less active war clan now. They're less competitive.
Mm-hmm.
But we sort of merged all the people that were competitive into Army. So and So, it works out well because, different people play the game differently. So,
Yeah, exactly. And clans will always go in different directions, even if there is someone trying to oversee everything. Like, I think the individual clans, like the actual leaders in there, would probably want to not split up, but everyone likes to do their own thing and be their own clan. So it's always difficult, I think, for one person to oversee it. So maybe it was a good thing that you sort of became your separate identities and your separate clans. So yeah. So sticking with the theme, like, of about your clan, what sort of town halls do you guys accept into your clans? Because obviously you're saying you've got a wee bit of a family going on. Is there different town halls for different clans, or?
Well, I'm sort of like the unofficial recruiter. I seem to have got that job. I've always posted on the forums for years now, and then once we joined EYG, I discovered obviously Reddit. Once I actually understood how to use and post something on Reddit, that's been quite successful. But Army tend to focus on we've got a few second accounts that are Town Hall 11, but we tend to only recruit from outside Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13. And we've always preferred balanced bases with good heroes. So because it just it's just easier for wars, because we are very competitive. And I don't know with mob, they do tend to take lower town halls as well. So it works well. We've the recruiting certainly helps, with EYG being involved, and then they obviously come through Gateway. So it works. We've had some really, really good recruits. It's a steady stream, and we tend to keep. Once people join Army, they do tend to stay. Most of us have been there forever.
We're a very friendly clan. I mean, we're probably the chattiest clan in AYG.
Oh my god, yeah.
We just talk all the time. Our clan. You look at our chat log, and it never goes back. If it goes back more than an hour, that's amazing.
There was a good conversation about naked maids on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They tried to delete that. Yeah. You missed that, Lolly.
No, I was right there. No, I think I started. No, that was it. It was the coffee cake that I forgot to put the coffee in that started it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Could also be that we have a lot of ladies in EYG, so that's part of the chat. So.
We do. We've always had a lot of relative to other clans, a lot of ladies in Army, and so it always keeps the chat away from being a dude fest, a sausage fest. We have a lot of varying topics. Yeah.
I have to say though, all the ladies in Army are. Well, obviously, they're all really good.
Yeah,
they're all really good, actually. So, we do tend to. We've got a nice bunch there. There's probably at least 5 or 6. Have we got something like that? 5 or 6 ladies?
I looked at 20% of the accounts in Army are females.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
that's really good, because I think Clash of Clans. I don't know the stats for off my head, but it's definitely a male-dominated game for sure. Especially when you see the World Championships and stuff, it's all males. There's no female at all. So and that's one thing about EYG as well. As soon as I joined, I couldn't believe, honestly, the amount of girls and females or whatever that were playing. It was a surprise to me, and it was a good surprise because it's a game for all.
I think that's part of what we liked about EYG was we looked at other families. And, first of all, they didn't have a lot of girls. And second of all, some of their chat was a little off-putting, shall we say.
Yeah.
I mean, not approved, but come on,
Yeah.
Someone was like, okay, this is just too much for me. So, So, and EYG is not like that. I mean, you'll joke around and you can make a good sexual reference here and there, but it's never crude or mean or rude, so,
Yeah, and everyone knows each other as well in EYG, so you can get away with some banter to an extent, but it'll never be taken over the edge.
Yeah, so it's just
well, no, Noel's mum gets mentioned quite a lot.
Poor Noel's mom.
Yeah. Poor old Noel.
Our inside jokes is Noel's mom. Everything is Noel's mom.
So back in the back in the early days of Army, I don't know why, the folks in curmudgeons, they would tell your mom jokes in chow all the time. So you'd say, "Oh, I'm really tired from work today." They say your mom's tired, or I sucked in that attack. Your mom sucks. That was
those jokes never get old.
No, and somehow in Army we got stuck on Noel's mom. We added on Noel's mom to everything instead of your mom. It was Noel's mom, and then it became that was the password to get into Army. So even in the recruiting threads, we say if you request in game, you got to say Noel's mom sent you. So the only way to get into Army was to put Noel's mom in your request, and it's
Noel's a really good sport about it too.
Yeah.
I hope he just never shows that chat to his mom. That's all I know.
Right.
So you spoke a little bit about people having mini accounts in their clan, in your clan. Sorry. Do you guys have any mini accounts yourself? How many accounts are you guys rolling with?
I have.
He's got a ton of accounts. Yeah. Only 4? It seems like you have more than that.
No, I have 4. Because I have
no secret accounts that you haven't surfaced yet.
I have no. I have my MB13, which is a max 13. I have Jiggity, which is a max 12. I have Mbakini, which is a max 11, and then I have one I kind of ignore, a 9, which is called Ebenezer, which is in just holding EN for us. So I may have to do something with that account at some point.
Fair enough.
That's more than enough.
Yeah, I've got a 13 getting close to be max again, and a 12 that's fairly new, so a few months old.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I've got a Town Hall 13 and a Town Hall 11. That's plenty. Thanks.
Yeah, you guys probably heard from some of the other interviews that some people run a silly amount of accounts, and
I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, you can burn out really quickly. Like it doesn't take much. I think on a game like this where you have to put a lot of effort in, especially just like to single accounts, if you start running multiple, you can't keep up. It's too much effort. So
make those war plans and everything. It's too much. So
yeah.
How many is Bass? I think has the most in our clan, right? Doesn't he have 6 or something?
He's got a ton of accounts.
They're either named after fish or bread, aren't they? Bass is our resident baker. He runs a bakery in.
Oh,
where
cool.
does he live? St. Louis, or is that how you say it?
St. Louis.
And he regularly updates us on what bread he's baked. And
makes us all hungry.
And also posts lots of pictures of these huge fish that he catches on these amazing boats and stuff that he goes off on holidays, and it sounds great. Oh dear. Yeah.
So we've sort of already been over this question a little bit, but when did you guys actually start playing Clash of Clans? Was it right from the off? Was it right in the early days? Because I know Mike, you said a little bit about obviously before Clan Wars and stuff. So
yeah. So I started playing. I'm an Android user, and Clash wasn't out on Android until it was like August or September of 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So I started playing pretty soon after that. It was like a month or 2 after it came out. I started seeing it in my in the Android App Store. So I started playing like early November, and I started my mini account because it was easier to do arranged wars with a mini account. So been playing for quite a while. I haven't been playing continuously though. As we've mentioned, I've taken several breaks in the game. Sometimes in a rage quit. Sometimes sometimes just for real life. Yeah. So PRQ. So this is kind of a funny story. Early on in the clan, one of the members was a guy with an account named Loose Cannon, and this guy. He was always on. He was on all the time, and I was just chatting with him one day, and I found out the reason he was on all the time is because he was a stay-at-home dad with twins that were, I think, like 6 or 8 weeks old. And this guy was just run ragged. I mean, he was not getting much sleep at night, and he's a pretty good guy. And then, and so we were doing a lot of recruiting at the time, and there was some churn, and there was, you let somebody in, and pretty quickly figure out they weren't a right fit, and kick them. So we're just, we're going through, picking up a lot of good members, but some really bad ones. And one afternoon we let in 3 new players, and they started donating the wrong troops to him. He was requesting whatever it was, archers, and they were giving him giants or something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he just says in chat, "This clan has gone to shit in 2 hours. I'm out of here," and bolts. And so we're on chat. We're like, "What was that?" And one of the leaders said, "Oh, that's a PRQ." We said, "What's a PRQ?" I said, "That's a pussy rage quit." And so we come to find out that one of the members over in Curmudgeons, her name is Sustopia, and she was a mom from Alabama that played the game. I swear she was pregnant the entire time. The entire time I've known her, I think she's been back to back pregnant, and her hormones are always out of whack.
Yeah.
And she's the one who coined the term "pussy rage quit." When somebody quit, she said, "That boy's a pussy. He just rage quit." And all of a sudden they coined the term "pussy rage quit."
That whole time I was trying to work out what those initials stood for, so I'm glad
Yeah,
we got to the bottom of it.
Yep. So that's a term. Anytime somebody in Army quits, it's a PRQ.
Yeah, PRQ. And they get pissed off and quit. We just had another one do it the other day, so.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get mad at the war attacks and they go, "Ah, damn, they quit." So
Fair
I don't think
enough.
you're a real clasher unless you've PRQ'd once at least. You know?
Oh yeah, for
I know.
sure. I'm sure everyone listening has done that at some point, if not multiple times. I know myself. I've done a few. So
Yeah. It's like riding a horse. You know, you're not a real rider unless you've fallen off. You're not a real clasher unless you've PRQ'd.
Unless you
Yeah.
quit.
yeah. So I asked some of the other guys this questions in some of the other interviews, but how long would you say you guys play Clash of Clans for each day, on average? Just give it a sort of number.
I don't know. I've been playing. I started, I think, like a little after Mike. I started around Thanksgiving of 2013,
Mm-hmm.
and it got, I don't know. I feel like I've been on this game all the time since then. So, I'm probably on more than anybody. That's all.
MB doesn't even sleep, I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Because I get up in the morning and MB's still awake, and she was still on there when
Yeah.
I went to sleep. So.
I'll see her in chat at 4:30 in the morning, and then at 7 o'clock in the morning she's back on. I'm like, "What did you? You must be a vampire."
She
Too committed.
doesn't sleep.
It's called insomnia, because you know.
Yeah.
It's
So MB, you play non-stop 24/7. That's fair. Mike, what about
feels
yourself?
like that some days.
It'll vary. I mean, there's some days on the weekends I'll usually be on for at least a couple hours. Like on Saturdays and Sundays, be on for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
During the week, it just depends. Some days it's only as long as it takes to plan to do my war attacks.
Yeah.
I'd say I can average at 30 minutes or an hour a day during the week, and a few hours Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lately I haven't been working, so it's like well, okay. What else am I gonna do? Oh.
Fair. And Lolly.
Yeah, no, I play most evenings, and on the weekend. Yeah, well, you know, I think it becomes a bit of a habit, to be honest. You go,
Oh, it's
got
an
nothing
addiction, let's
particular
face
to
it.
do, and so you just switch the game on, and I can do quite a lot of stuff while the game's running. I'm sure my husband thinks I'm literally on it all of the time, but I'm just there. You know, it's just on. You know, where you can just put it on the worktop and walk away,
Yeah.
and then come back before it
Yeah.
times out, and you can just
I can do lots of things.
constantly add to a bit to chat. And I
Yeah.
mean, I spend probably more time chatting than raiding, and
Yeah.
so MB's finished her Town Hall 13. She has absolutely nothing left to do, and I'm sure I'm probably on a fair bit, but I'm still behind
Yeah.
because I spend far too much time talking and not enough time
Yeah, I don't have
actually
anything else to do. I don't know.
doing anything. Yeah, I do get carried away with the chat.
No,
Oh,
no,
it's
you-
boring. It does get boring though. If nobody chats, it's boring.
Yeah.
I've been in some clans that they, you know, in my time in Clash, and you just go, oh, for God's sake, come on.
Yeah.
Somebody talk to me.
Literally, I can start a conversation about anything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
You get time
embarrassing.
now.
when-
You
Well,
get
yeah, it's
Karen on
kind
there
of.
when he's drinking, and he never stops
Yeah,
talking.
Friday night is wine night. Oh God, I talk even more when I've had a couple of glasses of wine.
Don't we?
Yeah, I bet it all starts coming out when you start drinking.
Oh,
Oh no. It's all very controlled.
Of course.
Uh-huh.
It's just more fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh.
Yeah, no, but I think they think I drink 24/7 as well.
Oh.
I don't. I really don't. I'm just a generally happy person in Clash, unless of course I haven't got a 3-star.
Lolly
And then
knows
it's a
everything,
PRQ.
too.
Yeah, I think I have actually done that once or twice, but I tend to go away. Then you get like a dozen invites back, and you go, okay, I'll come back.
Okay, you tempted me.
Yeah. They do love me, really, even though I've
Yeah.
just done a really rubbish attack.
No, we love Lolly. And Lolly knows everything about everybody too. I don't know how she does that, but she does. And she remembers it. She remembers
Because
how their
I'm just
kids-
nosy. I just like to know, where do you come from? You know, what do you do for a job?
But she connects
How
with
many-
everybody. It's good.
Well, you know, but I think that's what makes Army really where people stay, because I don't know. That's the only reason I really play Clash, to be honest.
Yeah,
I
and
think
It's off.
that's what you want in a clan, where you know each other. You don't want it to be kind of awkward where you're coming on. You don't really know who you're talking to. That's sort of the point.
Yeah,
Like, it's a
exactly.
clan, it's a community. That's
It's
the
definitely-
point.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a family.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
all know each other really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've even got the clan cat, because one of our other co-leaders, she's an RSPCA officer,
Right.
and she's so amazing. Literally, she's got 5 kids or something, BB, and so she works full time. She's got 5 kids, and she rescues all these amazing animals, posts pictures, tells us all these crazy stories. And anyway, she rescued these cats and posts a picture, and they're like, "Oh, Lolly, you should have a cat." And within about 4 weeks, I had a new kitten, and I met up with her sort of fairly locally to where I live, and I've now got a cat called Peanut, courtesy of BB, which was quite cute. And I give up regular updates and pictures in clan chat on Discord.
He's so lovely. He's a
He
lovely-
really is so cute, but she keeps trying to get me to have more.
It's a really good thing she's overseas, or I would have one too. So
You'll end up with the
I
EYG
know.
zoo. Everyone will be paying you to
That's
come and
right,
see
well,
you.
EYG
That's
pet.
that's the nice thing about Army, is that everybody knows each other, and it is kind of like family.
Mhm.
It really it's strange.
And, you know, and I was sick, and these guys sent me this really lovely, basket of stuff. It was really nice. So that's how we are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't know if I think we do admit we're a very competitive bunch,
Yeah.
but we don't take anything too seriously. We've always sort of described ourselves as a social clan who happens to be good at war.
Yeah.
Which I think is mostly true. I don't think we've ever kicked somebody because they were a terrible attacker. We've had folks who figured out they were terrible and that they were the low man on the totem pole and leave, but we've
Eventually
never
they leave.
Yeah.
we've never
Eventually.
kicked anybody. I mean, we've always said if you're a good member, if you contribute to chat, and as long as you're trying to get better,
Mhm.
and you're willing to learn, we'll never kick somebody just because
Well,
they're not
that's the other thing
not good enough at the game.
Yeah.
We're really good at is teaching people. So
Yeah.
I mean, much more than a lot of other clans. Even Army teaches people how to be better. So
Yeah.
it's like you said, as long as they're friendly and good and trying, and not missing attacks, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, missing attacks. I mean, we're very team oriented, so we won't put up with people who aren't team players. We've had a standing rule since the beginning. There's no loot grabs in war. Period.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
exceptions.
I think
and
that's
so,
fair.
there's just a few. Yeah, there's a few rules that we're saying. If you're a team player, you're willing to, and you contribute to chat, and you're willing to learn and improve, then Army's a great place to be. But if we've booted members who are really good attackers because they weren't team players or they're assets. So we
Yeah.
we won't put up with that.
we've had a couple of those.
We won't
yeah.
put up with that.
Ass hats.
An asset, yeah.
What's that?
It's a great name.
See, that's
That's
one of those
awesome.
American words.
I
Yeah.
think that's assholes.
Yeah.
No, but also people who don't really add to chat, they always seem a bit weird, because they come on ask for troops, do their attack, and then they leave, and you're like, oh,
That's the thing that always gets me as well when I'm in clans, and you know people can see that you're talking, and sometimes even if you say like hello to them, and you know they've seen it, but they still don't like say anything. I don't get that.
No, I don't. No, I just carry on talking to myself. I'll answer my own questions because it just feels a little bit awkward otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll quickly move on before there's anything else.
Sorry,
no, it's all good. It's all
like
good.
talk
No, it's all
before
good.
you.
That's what this is about. That's what this is about. But we need to get another question in sooner rather than later. So, do you guys yourselves compete in any leagues currently, or have done so in the past? Like I said, yourselves or with the clan?
Yeah, I have done leagues. Right now, they're on the break with leagues. But I've done leagues, and Crunk and B Money conned me into them. But did okay in them. So we did, and I did one of the ESL rounds with my 11.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting on that check, but it's been forever. But
did you win?
It was fun. Yeah, we took 4th, so it was pretty cool.
Nice.
But so it's like $100 if I ever get it. But
yeah, no, it's better than nothing.
And it was hard because there's no sieges.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. So so you have to do your 11 attack without sieges. It's like, oh god, this is hard. So we did okay with it. So but I've done leagues before. I haven't. I signed up this time with my 11 and 12 because there's not a lot of max 11s and 12s right now in EYG because everybody's upgrading, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're gonna need those in league. But I know Mike's done them too. So go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I've just done the one season for CWL Elite. It was fun. I don't know if they've even fielded a team for the current season. I think with everybody having to grind out Town Hall 13 upgrades, that I definitely didn't have enough time to do the league. I really love the leagues, but the days that the war day, yeah, it's a huge chunk of time.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do it again, but it is it's a big investment of time. So
it is
a lot of fun, but big investment of time.
I don't do it because it's way too stressful. It's hard enough to do attacking.
That's fair
I
enough.
ain't going nowhere. I'm not going anywhere else to do them. Oh no.
No, I totally understand your stress. They're definitely like a step beyond just casually playing the game. It's
yeah, they are.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like the leagues and stuff. Like there's so much pressure, and yeah, I get you.
I couldn't. That's probably why I wouldn't ever leave army because I want to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because then I'd have to sort of when you get new people who join the clan, you feel really bad for them if their first few hits don't go very well.
Yeah.
It's just oh my god, it's awful. And you're always trying to prove that you're actually okay. But
yeah, and all eyes are on you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard when you go visit other clans the same way. I'm like, oh god, I can't do this because I'm gonna even FCs. I'm like, oh god, you think I'm gonna suck, Yeah.
Yeah, everything. It always goes tits up when you don't want it to.
Yeah.
It's another one of those words.
Sorry. I
So
know.
good.
I really think Lolly makes up words. We talk and tell all the time, and she'll throw down a word, and I'm like, "There's no way that's a real word." And she'll
Alex
like, yeah.
knows.
I'm sure I'll know, and I'm sure you guys say words that we'd have no clue at what you're saying.
Probably
Just
so.
One, ask that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
So
because we've got a good we've got a really good selection of different countries in army. We've obviously got the UK, and we've got some Finland and Denmark, and their English is amazing, and it probably sometimes it's better than mine, but we do love to throw.
California.
I don't really think about it. We do love to throw the odd words in there, and they're going, what? What the hell does that mean?
Yeah, we'll get a few of those.
Yeah,
So-
I have taught them. I taught them some really good stuff though.
Yeah, like budgie
Only the-
smugglers.
Oh, yeah, budgie smugglers.
Budgie smuggler. So, Alex, do you know what a budgie smuggler is?
Well, like the swimming trunks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay,
We
yeah.
had no idea.
I thought it was like code for something, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah.
We don't use that term in the United States, so we thought it was hysterical. So
Uh,
Well, no, I think it only probably came up because of the fact that it was mudgy. We used to say mudgy smugglers, and I think I probably went, well, budgie smugglers, and then the conversation went from there, really, didn't it?
Yeah.
our conversations go interesting directions. So
Fair enough.
Sorry, yeah, we ran rambling on again.
No, it's all good. Entertaining content. That's what I like to hear. Okay, so we'll move on. We'll move on to another question. Unless you guys want to talk any more about budgie smugglers.
no.
Okay. So what events have you guys been involved in with EYG itself? Because I know there is a lot that goes on. We've obviously had those Trojan Wars and whatnot recently, but what sort of stuff have you been involved with?
Well, I'm the lead in events, so
Yep.
I've done a lot of events, obviously. So we've had tons of them. So we've been a little slower at them lately, but we got one going on today, in fact. But we've done Trojans. We did a big inter-family war, which Army won. With all the different clans, and we've done. We did the Ryder Cup, which was each war was a little bit different. One was only air, ground, things like that. So it's a lot of fun. So we did we've done a few Trojans. Lots of different things.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. The one where we could only use healers.
Yeah,
You could
That
only
was
use
interesting.
healers.
Only use healers with
Heroes and healers and wall breakers, I think it was.
yeah.
That's amazing.
That was actually really good, and you had to see what percentage you get or how many stars you could get. That was fun.
That's great. That's such a good idea. How have I never seen this?
Yeah.
We'll need to do another one of
years
them.
back.
I want to do that.
Yeah, those were fun.
Yeah, except when it's North America versus the rest of the world. I kind of feel a little bit like we're slightly outnumbered. Not like I've got a chip on my shoulder or anything.
Well, you have one in particular that was a little interesting.
Yeah. North America. It's quite a big place. Most of the players come from North America, don't they?
Yeah.
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 Oh well.
And did you guys get involved with the Trojan War that just happened there? I know we've got more coming up, but
I was not in the last one, no. So
No, because it was a bit too late. A bit too late for me.
fair enough.
yeah, started really late.
Late for me as well. I was the only content creator not involved with it, so I was a bit gutted for that.
Yeah.
But we've obviously got more coming up. So are you guys going to be involved with them or
Yeah, I signed up for the next one.
good stuff?
Okay.
Lolly?
I'd like to, but the time they have, I don't think they've set the time. I don't know.
So
Yeah, but he's gonna set 2 different times.
yeah, there's going to be 2
have
different
Trojan
times,
War.
one for US or one for that sort of time zone, and then one
Okay.
more suited to the UK time zone.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I may sign up if I know that the time will work for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes the weekends I get tied up and I won't be able to do it. Wouldn't be able to do it because you have to be able to attack at the exact time.
Yeah,
so.
exactly, which is tough.
Yeah.
It is hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to sometimes just get everybody on board and at the same place at the same time and get the war bases set and get the troops set and
Yeah, there's a huge amount that goes into them.
And then there's always one. There's always one.
There's always one.
Yeah.
Oh god, there is
The
always
lost cat that you can't herd.
Yeah, or there's always someone like in the last one that'll hit early, and everyone's watching them like, "What are you doing? Stop!
What are you
no,
doing? Yeah.
You've ruined it for everyone now."
There's one of those in every war.
Yeah,
And then we get somebody who like this event we've got we got a base on each side that you're not going to hit and somebody's going to hit it. I know they will. So
Mhm.
it always happens. I don't care what I put on there.
So that brings
That's
me
always
to
a
the end of
challenge.
all my questions. But I know there was a few other topics and stuff you guys want to talk about.
Well, so yeah, one of my favorite stories about the early days in Army. We had a couple of there's a group of 4 guys in curmudgeons. They're from Kansas City. We call them the KC crew.
Mhm.
And right after it's probably a month and a half after Clan Wars started, they figured out, well, in matchmaking, I bet if we had exactly evenly weighted clans and declared at the same time, we could actually war against each other. So it was before, it was before there's such thing as a ranged war. So that's what we did. We split so curmudgeons they're mostly Town Hall 10. So we just split the clans. We basically went down the war map and say, everybody in curmudgeons who is an even number, you go to army. Everybody in army who's an even number, go to curmudgeon. So we had basically exactly, or as close as you could get to evenly matched clans. We played at the same time, and it actually worked. So we had an inter-clan. Yeah, so it was an inter-clan war, and it was a blast. There was trash talk going on the entire time. One of our members, her in-game name is Taxi. Taxi is a handful. You got MB. You and Lolly know Taxi, I guess, a little bit. She's a definitely high energy gal. I think most of us fear what goes on in Taxi's brain. It's a world that I think most of us wouldn't be able to survive in. So Taxi creates. So if you remember back in the early days of Clan Wars, you had to. It was your the base that you only had one base, so you had to basically set your base. If you had a different war base than farm base, you had to completely build the base right before the war started. And it's whatever your base was at the time the war started, right? So Taxi creates a base which is a picture of a guy taking a dump. We call it the poop base, and that's what she set for the pre-war, with the plans of setting a real base right before the war started. Well, her iPad ran out of charge 5 minutes before the war started, and she didn't get a new base saved. So her poop base was actually in the war. So we did the war, and I can't remember who won, but whatever. So we're just we're bantering after the war. People in army were. We were chatting. People are coming back who had gone to the other side to curmudgeons, and one of our members. So if Guppy watches this video, she'll probably be angry with me. But it's one of the best autocorrects I've ever seen. So we're chatting away, and somebody who was in army, who had been in curmudgeons, had 3-starred her base in the war, and so she's talking to him. She's trying to threaten him, and she said his name was Pomage. I don't know what that means. She said, "Pomage, I've got some sexual treats for you." And we're looking at chat like, did Guppy just say that? And then we realized it was an autocorrect. She wanted to say, "I've got some special treats for you," but it came out sexual treats for you. We laughed. I was crying. I was laughing so hard because once we realized what had happened, it was even funnier. And Palm was just speechless. He was just speechless for a good 15 minutes in the chat. And he finally said, "Okay, I don't know what to make out from that Guppy, but anyhow." So that's one of my favorite stories of all. That's the best autocorrect I've ever seen in chat.
That's great.
We've had a few of them, man. The first clan I was in, that was before they did Clan Wars, and the leader had one of his friends in the clan, and remember, you couldn't opt out when Clan Wars first started.
Right. Yeah.
So if you were in the clan, you were in the war.
Yeah.
And so he had this friend in that never did war, just never attacked, but was always in the damn war, And then they came, so we're like, you kick this person out? They never do anything anyway, and he wouldn't kick them out. So, the person was completely inactive, but they wouldn't kick him out. So finally we said. So I said, I finally, I kicked the person out, and then he got mad at me. So he kicked me out of the clan. So I started another clan, and that whole rest of the clan followed me over.
Yeah.
So he was left with nobody in his clan but him and his friends. So it's like, okay then.
There's always so much history with
okay, well, that's the way that goes.
Yeah, there's always so much history with creating clans for not much time. I can guarantee everyone at some point has tried to make their own clan and tried to run their own clan. I'm pretty sure at some point, even if it's early game, I know I did, tried to run many clans, and you do it for a wee bit.
Work.
Oh, it's very hard work, yeah.
And it's really kind of burns you out eventually.
Yeah,
I
it
think
does.
it's one of the things I like about Army is we don't really have a leader per se.
No, we
kind
don't.
of bounce the leadership role between the different co-leaders,
Yeah,
So we kind of all lead together, which is really nice,
yeah,
It
for
doesn't
sure.
fall on anyone. Doesn't fall on any one particular person to do everything. We kind of, we all make joint decisions. Or if we promote somebody to an elder, we usually everyone else agrees. After the event, they usually, we tend to make good decisions. And we trust each other, really, don't we?
Yeah, it's more a
Yeah,
leadership team
and we've
than
often
a
talked about
individual.
starting a.
Yeah, definitely as a team, and it just means that to be honest, I don't like being the leader because it kind of means you're like officially in charge.
Yeah,
But I don't like being officially in charge. I'm quite happy being. I like being bossy, but not in a leadery type way.
I was gonna say, Lolly, you're really good at bossing people around.
I
I mean,
know.
without it doesn't matter if they're the leader tag or not. You're the
She's
one
the
who
boss.
tells everybody what to do.
Yeah.
Well, I try and do it in a nice way. I always do it in a nice way.
Do it in a nice way.
I don't
But I
think I'm
think
really rude. Never
I
rude.
I think if we had to pick one, it's probably Molly.
Yeah.
I don't
enough.
like. No, I don't. I'm quite happy being. I'm I want to say backroom worker. That's what I am. I am quite happy. I'll just do my little recruiting things. I help with mergers and that's.
Okay.
But I do have to keep Goober and Matt and Mike in. We do have to keep them under control a bit because they are quite good at kicking people. Well, they had a spate of kicking people.
Well, we need some
And
henchmen, though.
I'd spend ages recruiting these damn people. They'd come,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they were a bit weird or whatever. But then, like, I'd wake up in the morning and Matt's blooming kicked them.
Well, we do need some henchmen. But we do need some henchmen because I'm never brave enough to kick somebody out. I mean, like,
No, I know. I
So
don't
we
like
If
it.
you ever need somebody kicked, if you ever want somebody kicked, just tell Matt to do it. Matt's got a trigger
Matt-
finger. Yeah.
Matt enjoys that.
Yeah.
But it's good.
He
We need
doesn't
some henchmen.
he never hesitates. No.
But we need some henchmen in there because otherwise, we sometimes we hang on to them too long, So, like, oh, give him another chance. No. Matt sees right through that, so he's like, get him
Yeah.
out of here. Not dealing with that crap.
I know, but he sometimes does get a bit heavy-footed, doesn't he?
No.
Oh, he
We love
does. And then I have a bit of a hissy fit because I spend like hours trying to recruit people and Matt goes, don't like them, kick them.
Poor Lolly. Matt's gonna kill you.
I know. Actually, Matt won't. No. Matt
No.
knows. Matt knows that he doesn't think about it very long. He just, if something's not
Yeah.
right, he kicks somebody. And he's
Yeah,
usually right. He's like, we all know how this is going to turn out in the end. I'm just cutting to the chase. That's his philosophy, and he's probably right most of the time.
He's probably
honestly.
right most of the time. He is.
Well, Matt's a teacher, and he can sniff out an underage sort of player in about 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, he can.
He has a certain set of questions,
Right.
and he directs them very well. And then it's I don't care what you say. You're not over 18. He kicks
Yeah.
them.
Have you ever tried this plan where they like quiz you on questions to start your age? I've been in a clan one time. They like asked me all these questions. Like I had 5 seconds to answer the questions. I'm like, what the hell?
So what we used to do when we wanted somebody kicked in Army, we'd tell them to donate level 1 giants to Matt. Because we knew that would get him kicked instantly. So Matt was like, why the hell am I getting level 1 giants again? We said, well, because we wanted Joe kicked or whoever it was.
Yeah.
So that was
Who
our.
was it that kept putting wall breakers in the CCs one time? I thought it was funny. So who did that?
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. I'm like, yeah, you're real funny. Yeah.
Okay, so we now have some live attacks coming in from these guys. I mean, it's not going to be too difficult to beat the previous interviewees, but we'll see what they've got to offer, and we'll cheer them through, and we'll be sure to laugh if they fail.
Great, thanks.
No pressure, no pressure. The hybrid strategy. I love this.
Yeah, it seems to be the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't had really good luck with that. Like,
So what's the goal here? Get the queen
Well, I
in.
gotta charge the queen. Yeah, charge the queen in. See if she can take out the scatter shot, get the CC, the enemy queen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
MB, how do you think your base is going to defend? What's the outcome going
Oh,
to
against Mike, probably not well.
be?
I'm thinking that scatter shot's going to be a bit lethal.
Oh, that queen taking so much damage.
Yeah,
Oh, there's her ability. That's tough.
I mean, now she's back full health again. See, look at that.
Yeah. A lot of rage
Yeah,
spells
she's
going
not-
through nice and early though.
Yeah. She hasn't pushed very deep yet, so maybe in trouble here. I'll go ahead and get these other troops in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get past the king and the queen.
Mm-hmm. Ah, your queen's definitely gonna die sooner rather than later. Yep,
Yeah.
there she goes.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
The good thing about this attack is you obviously get the healers to push on to your other troops.
Yeah.
Yep.
I go on the miners. That's good.
This is not going to work.
Oh,
I get two.
There's the two. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Better than some of the other people we've had on.
oh.
Poor big nasty.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
We
I've
weren't
just
supposed to-
spoiled
not
the I've
supposed to
just
name
spoiled the other
names.
episodes. I've realised I've not even released some. Well, they'll be released when this one comes out, but you guys haven't seen them. I'm not gonna name names though and name and shame them yet.
Okay.
Alright, boo. Boring 2-star.
Aw,
It's not
Hey,
bad.
good.
I think I'll pre-RQ now. I just got
He's gone. He's gone.
No.
Okay. Oh, crikey.
Don't worry, we're watching. We're watching.
Yep.
Probably all go completely.
Look at the amount of troops. I love that.
Look at the troop bar. Crazy.
Oh, don't go that way.
Oh.
It always goes well
Oh,
when you're.
no, come on.
It'll come back now. No, come on.
Oh
Now.
no.
They're gonna go all the way down. Stupid.
Oh no, right next to the AD. That's really
Oh.
helpful.
Oh.
As much use as a chocolate teapot. Alright, come over here.
Well,
That'll do.
finger for talk.
Let's stick them in here. Okay. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Just stuck my healers. See, look, you put me under pressure. It all just goes wrong.
It's fine. It's fine. Your queen will clear that archer tower. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, no problems.
Fix them.
I hardly ever see giants getting used anymore.
I think she does everything. Isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
true.
a
That's
kitchen
true.
sink. This is her kitchen sink attack.
Yeah.
Let's get you.
Okay, somebody follow the wall breaker.
I
The
know I haven't
the
used
E-drag
them,
still
have
did
I?
enough at the start, I think, to get your funnel. So I think you should be
There
good.
they go. There they go.
Only 3 loons in the clan castle. Nice.
Come on. Come on.
This is looking good. I like how you're coaxing them along. Come on, come on.
You know. Oh, come on. There we go. Right. What else have I got left? Oh.
Got another regular.
Yeah,
We're doing okay. What's the time?
plenty of time.
56 seconds.
Stick one over there. Look.
Oh,
Oh, look. The healers are being really helpful there. Look.
Oh yeah, they're doing a
That
great
giant.
job.
Let's just throw a few wall breakers. Oh no, that's not going to work, is it? Come on. Right. Oh. Nearly missed her.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
outside.
they're all bunch of stupid giants. Like, come on.
Come on. Let's hurry up. Hurry up.
Well, it looks like a time.
Oh,
Yeah,
come-
I don't think you're gonna have time to.
It was a
Finish
nice
it
hit
off.
though. I like that. The kitchen sink
Do
attack.
you?
I might
That's
just-
I use it every time.
Yeah, you might just have to come on and do a strategy video with me and
There
get the
you go.
whole of EYG using the kitchen sink.
Yeah.
The little archers took out that archer tower.
Oh, look at those goblins go.
Nyom. Speeding along.
Damn it. Look at
Oh,
that. Oh,
that was a nice hit though, that was nice.
it's a fail. Failed.
She thinks a 93 is a fail. Yeah.
PRQ! She's gone!
Oh god, I'm all
Flustered.
I'm a bit flustered.
Nah, that was a really nice hit. Just unlucky with the time.
I don't like an audience, you know, when it's like when you start seeing all these little eyes appearing in your screen. And you
Yeah.
go, you start looking at that and going, oh my god, there's too many people watching. And then
I never even see that, you know. So
do you
I guess-
not? Oh, I do.
yeah.
Oh no, I see it every time.
You see it? I never look. I'm too busy looking at my troops, so I never see it. Huh? Yelling at them, go that way!
Yeah, I need a cup of tea. I'm sweaty.
Ah, you're lucky. Town hall's upgrading.
Oh, yeah.
That queen should go exactly where we want her to as well. That's pretty good. Oh.
Go around.
Oh no.
When does she ever
Oh
do
no.
what she's supposed to do?
Sorry.
Oh,
Oh no.
there
Oh no,
you
there we go.
go.
I thought I'd jinxed it there and I thought she was just gonna not do what she should have. No clan castle troops.
Well.
Ah, you're lucky.
No pressure.
Yep. Sorry, I'm just putting all the pressure on now.
Ah! Laid on my rage, damn it. See? That's what happened, yeah.
Ooh.
Oops.
I didn't know you'd already used the queen's ability. I didn't realise that had been popped.
I think she actually got killed after she pressed it. I think the enemy queen got
Oh
it.
really? Did oh man.
Yeah.
I actually find that when that queen, if the queen pops its own ability, she dies really quick.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's if whoever's hitting her, if they have too much damage per blow, I think they'll
Yeah.
still kill her.
I must admit, I think I still prefer to press the button.
Yeah. With 4 heroes now at Town Hall 13 though, like, it's so easy to miss, like, the abilities. There you go, there's the 1 star. Let's keep going. It was a decent funnel you sorted there, so...
Yeah.
Where's your RC?
She's right there with her hogs.
Oh yeah, on the bottom.
Right
Hiding
around
under
the
the
bottom.
slammer.
Ah, okay. Oh, there she goes.
Oh, nice ability. I love that Royal Champion's ability, it's so nice. The Captain America throw.
Oh, that damned eagle.
That was
Yeah.
tough that your queen went down. If she'd stayed up, that would have probably been a 3.
Yeah, I think so too, but
Oh.
oh well.
Nah, don't worry about it. Everyone got 2s in these live attacks, so even the kitchen sink attack.
I know, I've got so many 3s as well with that.
I don't believe you. I've yet to see one, so
Oh.
nah, I'm kidding.
Do you know what though? The one thing with that attack is it pretty much covers most bases, which is why I use it for farming.
Yeah,
So you can
Oh,
always
well.
find something to put it on.
yeah. Don't worry about that MB. It was still a nice hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
You know when you're trying to lay 4 EQs and your hand's shaking so much that you blooming don't get it in the right place.
Yeah, so you miss one wall section and it's got a tiny wee bit, and you're like,
Yeah,
"Are you joking me?"
I know.
You're like, yeah.
And then it's like PRQ straight away. I'm not even gonna finish this attack. I'm out.
Yeah, I remember that when we first started getting into Clan Wars, we all got very amped. I remember after the attacks, man, I had adrenaline pumping. My hands would be shaking after an attack because of the adrenaline that was pumping while I was
Yeah.
doing it. And then you do enough of them, and that doesn't happen anymore. But
Yeah.
it was when we first started playing. We were on the game. The entire clan. It was rare to see chat go back more than 15 minutes. It was just constant chat. We all spent way too much time in the game the first 6 months or a year. We've actually balanced it out now.
I remember when they first came out with EQs. I had like just finished my blue walls, Like I was so proud because like nobody else had their walls on. I was like, I have my walls, and then they come out with EQ. I'm like, what the fuck? How did I do all these walls for?
Well, I remember when the game first came out. I was 13 years old when the game first came out.
Oh god!
And I sat on
I'm feeling old.
I sat on my iPod Touch for I think it was 2 hours when I first downloaded the game, and I sat and waited for my collectors to go so I could hit the button on them again, collect a tiny wee bit, and do that, and I did that for 2 hours when I first downloaded the game, and I'll never forget that. And I thought, God, this game is so boring. Like, is this what you do? You sit and you wait about. Like, I can't be dealing with a game like this, but somehow I kept going.
It is totally addictive though, isn't it? It's just a nightmare. Really is. Sometimes you ever think to yourself, God, what happens if Wi-Fi went down forever and you...
Don't say that.
You know what I mean though?
Yeah.
You'd never ever be able to speak to all the people you spend hours every day with.
That is crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think about something like that, yeah.
Yeah, a couple people that have like just disappeared all of a sudden, Like just,
MB, you're sounding a little bit like you've been grieving.
It does.
Playing or something, and like,
MB, you're breaking up.
It's got that.
You're sounding like you're so drunk.
It's just got loud.
It's like underwater or something.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh dear.
We were talking about trophy pushing, and so I don't. Alex, you said you'd done, but we would start like on a Friday, and the goal was by Sunday night we would see how high we could get the clan up.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we would be on the game all stupid weekend because you had to, if you back in then, as long as you were logged in, nobody could attack you.
Yeah.
So the entire clan would just be on the game the entire weekend, so you couldn't get attacked until you went to bed.
Yeah.
I still remember going to dinner on it was a Saturday night. Went to dinner with some friends, and I've got my phone in my pocket, and I'm keeping the game open in my pocket so that I can log out and lose trophies and screw the clan. I don't think my wife ever knew, but I felt really ashamed that I was doing that, but I didn't want to log off and lose 40 cups during the middle of a trophy push.
No, those were the days.
Dedication, Mike.
Yeah.
When I was the second clan I did that, and so I was the leader of that clan, but I used to like go visit other clans and learn things and come back and teach everybody, because that's how we were sort of learning in those days, Or we had line as our chat then, so I would pictures and stuff. And I was in, what's the name of that great big group of clans that was like really big into trophy pushing? I forget what they were. I forget the name of that clan, but I was in them for a while. They weren't insane. I mean, they were just, you couldn't even run an attack without clearing everything by them.
Yeah.
So,
I think we've worn everybody out.
Yeah, my face hurts from laughing and smiling so much. So thank you so much, guys. That was so fun, so entertaining.
this is what we do.
Awesome. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, it was
Thanks,
really
Alex.
These are great series. I love watching these videos. So thanks for doing it.
I appreciate it. Yeah, cheers.
No, I've seen
we
them.
do. They're great.
Thank you.
They are good.
Okay, and that finally brings us to the end of this amazing episode of Their Clash Story. Again, thank you so much to Mike, Lolly, and MB for coming on Their Clash Story. It was an absolute pleasure having these guys on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you join EYG. There is a link in the description to the EYG Discord server. Definitely stop by. Go in there and say hey. Check these guys out. Honestly, I cannot thank you guys if you've stuck all the way through this video, an hour-long episode, so many stories to tell, and that is why I love this series, like I said to the guys there. And yeah, plenty to look forward to in the next episode as well. I've actually already recorded it as I'm editing this video, as it took me days to edit this marathon of an episode, but yeah, plenty to look forward to in the next video, so make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out that next one. Some interesting stories in there for sure. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and feelings on some of these amazing stories. Like the video too, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that is. Peace.